Hey kids, it's your wicked fanboy James Nalupka, and I'm coming to you today from Back Bay, Boston, where I am on a Walkabout Boston 3, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to take you guys on a visit to Newbury Comics on trendy Newbury Street here in Back Bay, Boston. Now, we have to say those things together. Trendy Newbury Street. It's like the local colloquialism, like pissa or wicked. So, it's proper proper English here in the Boston area. So we're going to go take a little walk here. Now, when I was a little boy, my uncle Stashu Stanley introduced me to comic book and movie memorabilia collecting. Now, at the time, I was familiar with comic books and stuff like that. Mind you, this was 54 years ago. I was 7 years old, and it was my birthday. And my mom and dad had taken me and my two older brothers over to my uncle Stash's house and Aunt Millie's house for a birthday party, and my uncle Stash had a surprise for me. Now, that surprise was down in his basement. He had a total of 247 long boxes packed back to front with comic books, all bagged and boarded. And at the time in North America, it was probably one of the largest collections, personal collections of comic books in the country, at the total of 74,100 comic books. Now, for my birthday, he is willing to give me 100 of his comic book collection, providing that I spent the entire summer going through every single long box picking out specific comics. He also introduced me into movie paraphernalia and stuff like movie posters, the theatrical posters that are up in the marquees in the theaters, lobby cards, props, stuff like this when I was a kid as well. And my Aunt Millie was a pack rat as well. She had like cat clocks all over the house, salt and pepper shakers, assorted plates, clown paintings, and other things like that. And in the garage, in my Uncle Stashu's garage, something that was a point of interest for my two older brothers because they were motorheads. He had a classic 1950s Harley Davidson motorcycle. And from World War II, he had a motorcycle with sidecar, a German motorcycle with a sidecar, that he took apart in pieces and shipped home to my Aunt Millie while he was away out fighting in foreign wars and during World War II. And when he came home, he spent a good year putting this thing back together. Mind you, he shipped each one of these things back piece by piece, including the sidecar in boxes during World War II from Europe. Now, later on down the road, when I would start seriously collecting, comic books and movie memorabilia, I eventually collected quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I had too much, and I had decided to go to film school. Now, my uncle Stash had introduced me to Buster Crab and old Buck Rogers serials, and Flash Gordon stuff, and all kinds of movies like Dick Tracy and things like that. The old radio broadcast that used to be popular in the 30s and 40s. And I got this fondness for movies, and I started watching film, TV shows, and stuff like that. And I decided eventually I was going to go to film school. So what I did is I sold quite a bit of my original collection off to put me through school. I went to film school in New York at the New York Film Academy for about 4 years. And it pretty much paid off the entire thing myself, including working on top of it to pay for books and whatnot. But anyhow, that's my story. Let's go take a look at Newbury Comics here. As soon as the light lets me cross the street, I'm going to point us in the direction. Now, during the time when I was a little kid in Detroit, where I'm originally from, there were comic book stores and stuff like that were around. There was a place called the Mouse House, which was a head store or a head shop that sold like smoking paraphernalia and stuff like that for pipes and marijuana and whatnot. But they also had comic books, movie posters, and stuff like that. There was also the infamous Classic Movie and Comic Center in Livonia, Michigan, just a stone's throw away from my house, that had everything in the world that you can think of: movie posters, OG comics. They had a large collection there as well, almost 100,000 OG comic books, originals, all bagged and boarded in their stock, including old movie posters, lobby cards, props, masks, makeup, toys, you name it, they had it all. Now, this place here, Newbury Comics, was started back in 1978 by two ex MIT students and roommates, Mike Dries and John Brewsker. Now, they cobbled together about $2,000 and combined their two humongous comic book collections and came over here and renovated what used to be an old studio apartment. And we're coming up upon it right now and turned it into the very first Newbury Comics here on Newbury Street, Back Bay, Boston. Trendy Newbury Street, I almost forgot. Which Tao's makeup, lifestyle, and skincare now exists right here. Now, in 2018, they decided to close this original location and move three doors down to a much bigger store, and that's where we're going to go now. To the brand new location. Making sure you're still there. In 1979, they decided to move into music. Their favorite between the two of them was punk and new wave, and eventually down the road, they would move into other kinds of music like country, rock, and so on. They would also add all kinds of other pop culture items like T-shirts, books, Funko Pops, that you're seeing right in front of you right now, cards, collectible cards, baseball cards, and things like that in the past as well. Calendars, other tchotchkes like lava lamps, toys, manga, board games, Rubik's Cubes, and all kinds of other fun junk. Now, right now, I'm going to show you the 12 by 8 brand new comic book section here that they have in the store. This is it. Now, what I hear, since I have not read any of the newer comic books here to be released within the last decade or so, really, to be honest with you, I prefer the OG stuff. But from what I hear from Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, go check out his YouTube channel as well. He is the local authority on comic books here in the Boston area. He knows his shit, and I think you guys should check him out if you have any interest in it. From what I hear, some of these are actually pretty good, but a majority of them are shit. But anyway, we'll move on. Now, they also have a large collection of manga in store. And to be honest with you, the only manga that I'm really interested in is One Piece. And I love the One Piece show that's on Netflix right now. It's awesome. Got stuffed animals as well. Got the hardcover comics, which are all awesome. Sandman is something that I could potentially get into in the future here. I'm going to have to check this out. And let's go to the toys over here. Check all this stuff out. This is Boss, huh? I thought this was pretty cool when I seen it. We got a Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We got some stuff that's sports related as well. We got Bloodsport of all things as far as the action figures. We got Bruce Campbell. Oh, by the way, we're going to be doing interviews with filmmakers and actors, and Bruce Campbell is one of the people that I'm trying to get in touch with right now to actually do an active interview. Maybe even Sam Raimi and Robert Tappert. I also, at this point in time, have scheduled an interview with director Ted Nicolau, who has worked on many, many occasions with Charles Band at Empire Entertainment. And at Empire Entertainment back in the late 1970s, early 80s, he directed a feature film called Zone Troopers, a low-budget, creepy cheapy sci-fi film. And when he worked for Full Moon Features back in the 80s, when Charles Band had a direct-to-video service, or basically direct-to-video cassette. You know, remember when the old video stores were open where you can go rent a couple of tapes or Blu-rays and DVDs? That's where a part of his business started, and Mr. Nicolau had directed a few movies for that one. Most notably would be the Subspecies series of films that were highly, highly praised. Also, here we got Transformers stuff. Terrifier, of course. I'm also trying to get a hookup with John Carpenter. He does not do too many interviews, but he will do some on occasion. It's very, very rare, but we're going to wait and see what happens with that. Since he is getting up there in age, he may decide to capitulate and say, sure, why not? I'll shoot the shit with you for a little while and maybe have some fun. And we're going to be putting those up as well. While you're here, please like, share, and subscribe to the Wicked Fanboy YouTube channel. Like and share this video in your social medias. And also check out Script Doctor on his Scripts on Saturday show as well, and subscribe to him. Like and share his videos as well. I do occasionally pop in on a Scripts on Saturday show where we talk about movie scripts that are on the blacklist. And he pops them up, and occasionally I will pop on there and have a chat about them to see if they're actually worthwhile, or could they be something that could be actually produced by a studio or production company. I also sit in with that 70s rock fan, Brian, on his YouTube channel. Here's some more manga. And we do what is called a Canon Film Club. If you guys are familiar with Canon Films and their library, stuff like the Death Wish movies, like Death Wish 3, or maybe Masters of the Universe, or Life Force. 3 of those specifically that have had shows already. Here's some manga related Funko Pops. And I will sit on a panel for that, and we'll have some shits and giggles just talking about that for a while. So check him out as well. And check out me, Nelson Beltran, on his Cinema Therapy YouTube channel, where we talk about films, we talk about romantic films, we talk about a series of comics, and we talk about comic book movies and action films and stuff like that. We just finished up a series of videos on romantic films over the decades, and we are going to be starting one on action movies here fairly soon. And the Ted Nicolau interview is going to be part of a Cinema Therapy. So go to Time Dojo and check that out and subscribe to his channel. It'll also be co-hosted by a gentleman by the name of Albert Emery. As you can see, we've got plenty of stuff here. Now, Newbury Comics, I believe, have 35 actual locations between New England and New York and Jersey, as I understand right now, that are still in operating, in operations. And they do have an online service for ordering merch. If you care to, you can go there and check it out. And if you're in Boston at any time, stop down here on trendy Newbury Street. See, I said it. And check out the Newbury comics out here. There are many, many more around the area here in the Boston area at a few of the malls that you might want to stop and see. There are other comic book shops that I'm going to be stopping in, like New England Comics and so on, that Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, has showcased in a few of his videos. Conan the Barbarian. Okay, now I'm going to be heading downstairs to the basement for the Piece de Resistance. This is one of the largest collections in town that I know of vinyl. LPs, 45s, they have audio cassettes as well. Newbury Comics. And some 8-tracks. All right, you guys. As you can see, they do have a quite awesome collection of LPs here. A lot of these are not originals, they're remasters. Unfortunately, the ones that they do have originals of would be behind encased glass and under security, because a lot of those things are somewhere worth in the thousands of dollars. Now you have various different kinds here. You got motion picture soundtracks, you got hard rock, you got Motley Crue, you got Ozzy Osbourne, you got rap, you got country, a lot of old classic rock, the hair bands, and so on. We also have CDs, LPs as well. And there are the 45s up on the wall up there. Rock related t-shirts. Books on rock stars. We got David Bowie, Elton John, Prince, and other artists as well. And we got various selection of small wall posters. A lot of the college kids will throw up on their wall in their either in their apartments or in their dorms, and so on. Unfortunately, guys, there are no nudie girl posters up here. No Playboy pinups, no Penthouse pinups, and stuff like that. Just kind of comic book related, old rock related, music related stuff, anime, and so on. And they have CD players and audio cassette players as well. So check this shit out. A lot of this stuff we have not seen for years, and of course, Purple Rain. That's t-shirt. Oh my God, look at this stuff, Rolling Stones. And also, rock-related Funko Pops. Like I said, one of the largest collections here in the Boston area in stock of Funko Pop. Check out some of the Beatles here. As I say, these are all remasters, and I believe they're going for, let's say, yeah, about $40 for the remasters. Now the originals that are still in existence today would go for somewhere around the $4,000 mark for an original Abbey Road, I believe. Hard Day's Night as well. That's going for $40. The remasters are actually high quality. They also have frames for these as well if you want to put them up on your wall. Check them all out. And those 45s up there are hard to come by. Those are very, very hard to come by nowadays. They'll cost you a pretty penny online if you were to search for some of those. And if you are looking for original LPs and original 45s, you can find them just about anywhere online. But they will cost you an arm and a leg, like I mentioned already. And we're going to hit our way up. Fun, huh? Now, there are going to be more Walkabout Bostons. We're going to be stopping by the Boston Public Library. We're going to stop by the museum. We're going to stop by the waterfront. We're going to be stopping just about everywhere. There could be a tourist trap here in the Boston area at some point, and I will be putting them up on my YouTube channel. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to buy myself something for my 61st birthday, which is coming up tomorrow on April 16th. So I could be coming back here to get a t-shirt. And as far as the Funko Pops are concerned, I only have one Funko Pop in my collection. It is a Marty McFly that I picked up at a Boston Fan Expo a few years ago. That looked interesting. It was part of the free gifts that they give you for being a VIP visitor with a 3-day pass. And there is one here with a DeLorean with Doc Brown and Einstein the dog that I'm thinking about snagging up because I've seen it for like $40. So we're going to have to check that out. Meanwhile, we're going to head out. Say adios to Newbury Comics, Boston.